Welcome back. Up next, we have a very interesting guest, Senna Abeko, and he's also known as Lord of the Ring. He's a boxer. So let's take a look at his profile.
Oh, my name is Senna Abeko. I'm a professional boxer, but I'm also studying public relations at the Ghana Institute of Journalism. Yeah, and I'm in my 3rd year.
You will never know what you could ever be. If you never try, you will never see. Stayed in Africa, we ain't never leave. So the one don't slave.
I decided to go into boxing after I watched the Ghana amateur team at the Beijing Olympic Games, and I liked the performance and I thought it was something I could do. So I decided to get registered in the club, and yeah. So since late 2008, I've been training and fighting.
Together, so we equally appointed. First 400 years, see, we actually enjoyed it. Constitution written by W.E.B. Du Bois.
You know, the first thing is you have to be ready mentally. If you're not ready mentally, you'd probably give up on yourself the first few days of training, because boxing is an extremely hard sport. You have to get ready mentally. So once you have that over and done with, you have to make sure you're prepared physically too. So you get yourself, you start with ready by starting with the basic exercises. Usually the coach would help you through with that. And then when you begin to get the hang of that, he brings in the more difficult ones. And then after that, you can start with practicing the moves, the various boxing moves. And then over time, you get into fights, and then that gives you more experience. So you build more experience by fighting more over time. And then when you're ready, you'll know it.
Crazy, or isn't he? See, I fell asleep and I had a dream. It was all black, everything.
Well, the most exciting fight that I've ever had was in the amateurs. Yeah, it was in the light heavyweight division against a guy who was my main opponent, like my main contender in that division. It was really a really tough fight. I knocked him down twice, and it was really hard though. Yeah, it was yeah. Feels great, like you're independent. You know, you decide when to train and how to do it. Your coach usually helps you with that, but then you feel like you're in more control of what you do. Yeah, you don't have to like listen to what anybody has to tell, you know. And then it helps you actually be able to make more decisions on your own. Yeah. Well, usually the challenges that other boxers, luckily for me, I haven't had to face most of the challenges. But when you look at all the other boxers, it's about getting good management. That is usually the problem. So we have lots of talented guys out there, and then there's really nobody to manage them, funding, money to help them move forward. Luckily for me, well, I came to the right place, met the right people. So yeah, everything is going on pretty well for me. But then there are lots of other guys out there, especially guys in the national amateur team, who aren't really doing that well. Yeah. Well, the only advice I have for them is it's a really difficult sport, and it's either you make it or you lose everything. Because to be a good boxer, you have to give it your all. So if you give it your all, you're definitely bound to make it. But if you're dilly-dallying in there, you're training half training when you should be training full training, eventually you'll fail. So it's a give it all, get all, or give it nothing, get nothing.
I've known Senna for 12 years now. We've been childhood friends for a long time. I know boxing is a very challenging thing in Ghana. People don't support you all the time, but Senna has the perseverance and the drive to do it. He knows he wants something, he goes after it. And that's the type of person he is. And I believe with the current training he's doing right now, he can make it. And he will. I believe in him. He's the best.
Ghana, I just want you to get ready for the next world champion, Senna Abeko.
I just met Senna Abeko around this Roman Ridge area, and Senna Abeko told me he wanted to be a boxer. So I asked him, can you do it? He says, surely you can do it. So he be bold. He make bold, very bold to say it. Then I say, okay, let's start something here. Then we started something. Unfortunately, as we start, I see a lot of talent of Senna Abeko. Even his punches. When he punch, then I say, yes, this man can be a world champion. So I started preparing him. So On our first amateur fight, knockout was knockout. Second amateur fight, knockout. Third, knockout. Fourth, knockout. Fifth, knockout. Sixth, knockout. Seventh, knockout. So I said, yes, this man can really do it. So we started hard. Then he's very good too, and he's hard in training. Don't play with training. Anything I will tell him, he listening to me and do well as he wanted to do.
Yeah. Hi guys, my name is Senna, and yeah, I'm Lord of the Ring. Everything I do, I make sure I do it well. So if you ever decide to get into the sport, make sure you do it well, because that's the only way you can make it to the top. I train hard. I train 4 hours every day for 5 days. That's how I'm able to make it. If you want to make it like I'm making it, you gotta give it your all. Alright. Be bold.
Senna, wow, you are one strong man. Like, first of all, how did you even decide to become a boxer in the first place?
Well, initially I was just, I thought about going into bodybuilding, and then I went into judo. It's a martial art, more like wrestling. So along the way, I realized it wasn't that rewarding, and then boxing came my way. Like, I watched the Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, and then I was like, whoa, like, this is something I can do. And I decided to go for it, yeah.
Now, before we get into your boxing career, let's talk more about you and what you do. A lot of people think boxers, you know, they're not educated or they're not. Tell me about your educational background and, you know, what you do currently as well on the side of boxing.
Okay, so I had my secondary education in Keta Senior High School, finished in 2007, and I'm currently at the Ghana Institute of Journalism, pursuing a BA in Communication Studies, yeah. So I'm in level 300 now, yeah, and I'm a pro boxer too, alongside, yeah.
Wow, so it's not just boxing that you do, you actually study as well currently.
Of course, yeah.
And eventually, what do you want to do with that?
Well, I'm hoping to carry on with boxing for a while, and then when I retire, then I'll go back.
When you
into the
retire,
media,
which
yeah.
is like down the line.
Like in 10, 15 years, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not hoping to carry on too long, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's the hardest part of being a boxer?
Well, it's got to do with the training schedule, like the discipline. It's you have to be really disciplined to be able to follow the training regimen. It's really hard, you know, waking up every day, jogging. Sometimes you wake up and it's like, nah, like, why don't you spend another 30 minutes in there, like,
sleeping?
Don't worry, like, it wouldn't take anything away, but yeah, you have to get up and go, yeah.
What are some of the things that you cannot do as a boxer that you could do as a normal person? Not that boxers have anything wrong with them, but you know,
Yeah,
some
like,
people just get to relax a bit more.
There are many things, like alcohol.
Okay.
You can't afford to take too much alcohol. Like, you can't afford to have too much sex. That weakens your legs, yeah, for real. And then you have to watch what you eat. You know, you can't eat just any kind of too much of one type of food, like fats. You can't eat too much of oily foods. Nah, that bother your breathing, your respiratory system, and all of that.
Wow.
So yeah, you have to watch what you eat. That's it. And then the alcohol, the sex, and then also you have to get enough rest. You can't afford to like go to training, come back and not sleep. Let's say you go out, go party and stuff like that. You have to have your rest. Rest is like the most important thing, because after training, your body has to recover. And if you don't allow your body to recover well enough, what happens is eventually you break down, yeah.
Tell me what you thought or felt when one time someone just boxed you so hard.
Well, for me, usually the normal reaction for people would be to you know, get angry and then, you know, go with their own attack. But for me, I kind of like, I step back. Usually I just take steps back and then go like, okay, what did I do wrong for this guy to get me like so easily? And then like I retrace, like try to regroup and then attack, yeah. So for me, I don't really get angry when I get hit in the ring. What happens is I just like go like, okay, it's a mistake. I made a mistake. I got hit. I have to prevent it from happening again. Then I go in, yeah, with the more like cautious approach.
Is that how you sort of deal maybe with your life? When something, not people, but something attacks you, let's say you're trying to achieve something in life and just gives you a quick knock,
Yeah.
Do you sort of regroup that
Like a
same
reality
way
check. Yeah.
in
Like,
life?
Yeah, it's like, you know, you're pursuing something really hard and then something happens. Yeah, it doesn't really break me down. No, like I just go regroup and then attack, come back again. Yeah, stronger.
How are your parents taking your career choice?
Well, initially they were indifferent. They didn't really discourage me. They didn't really encourage me. But along the way, they realized I was doing pretty well, and till date they haven't really really expressed how they feel about everything. But well, I guess they are happy now. Yeah, especially now that I'm a pro boxer, professional boxer. Yeah.
Now you're a pro.
Yeah.
How
pro.
are you able to become a pro?
Well, actually, to turn pro, you need to get a manager first, somebody who will be willing to like take care of all your expenses. You know, like medical bills. You know, your food, everything. Like, yeah, everything that has to do with you being able to train well for fights. Yeah. So earlier this year, it's Mr. Kwame Ahiako. He owns Pando Hearts of Lions. Yeah. He came to watch one of my fights and he was impressed while I was still in the amateurs. So he spoke to me about turning pro and I agreed, and it's been good ever since. Really good. Yeah.
How many fights have you had so far? How many have you won and how many have you lost?
So far I've had 3 fights in the pro ranks and I've won all of them by knockout. Yeah.
By knockout?
By knockout, yeah.
Meaning that you have some kind of power in your hands that nobody...
Well, it's not really about the power, but the thing is, you know, I train my cardio system to such an extent that when I'm fighting with my opponents, I overwork them. So usually I don't knock them out like with one punch. No, I more like beat them in submission, more like that. So like I'm fighting and then like I just keep punching like that, and it gets to a time when they can't take it anymore, and then the referee has to step in and stop the fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what division are you in right
I'm
now?
currently in the light heavyweight division, yeah. But with time, I'm hoping to like come down to the super middleweight division because.
Can you explain that a bit
Yeah.
more? Because I'm not quite sure of these terms.
I just came into the professional ranks, and the guys who are in my weight division are kind of like way bigger and heavier.
Okay.
Understand? Yeah. So what it means is I'm not really training I've not trained long and hard enough to drop okay, what it means is I'm carrying unnecessary weight. Yeah, so I just have to work harder.
You're carrying unnecessary weight.
Yeah.
Meaning you're too heavy?
Yeah, I'm too heavy for my body size.
Okay.
But the reason I'm able to stay there is because I'm really fast with what I do. I'm really fast, very, very fast. Faster than most of the guys over there.
Okay.
But if I should be able to like come down to the super middleweight, which is a lower weight division, I'll be able to perform more because I'd have the speed, and then also there'll be more power and more punches. Yeah. The guys at the lower weight division won't be able to deal with my punches as much as the bigger, heavier guys. So it'd be a plus for me. Yeah.
Wow. Now how old are you?
19.
Wow. So you're fighting with these older men, or they're all the same age, or?
Most of them are like mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, yeah. And most of them have been around for 10 years more. But I've been boxing only 2 years.
Wow. So what are you preparing for now in your boxing career?
Right now, I'm just looking to build a good record. Let's say I want to go 10 fights undefeated and then challenge for an international title. And right now, my manager is working on something for me. It's not really been concluded, but yeah, I'm hoping to get an international fight by the end of this year. Yeah.
Now, how do you hope to impact your community with all the boxing you're doing?
Well, you know, the general conception among people is boxing is meant for, you know, the people who really don't have the opportunity to go to school, and if you're going to school, you can't really do anything else. You know, like you just have to concentrate on school, go to school. You can't really pursue your own dreams, your ambitions, and that is what I hope to change. You know, you don't necessarily have to go to school and do boxing for me to say I have made an impact. You can go to school and let's say still play your soccer, or like go to school and do whatever you want to do that under normal circumstances will be troublesome for you. You understand? Like would give you trouble. Yeah. So I hope to make that difference. You know, show people that yeah, you can do it. You can do the two together, no matter how difficult it is. Yeah.
Now, how would you describe your personality? Like, are you one of those who sort of takes your anger out on people through the boxing as well? Like, say you had a friend and they got you really angry, would you box them?
Well, prior to boxing, I got involved in more fights. You know, like now that I'm a boxer, I know that I can't fight, because if I should fight, I might end up hurting somebody.
Okay.
So that in itself like holds me back. So anytime somebody pisses me off, I just walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
just-
best thing
I
to
just
do
walk away.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what advice do you have to all those watching you right now who hope to be boxers one day, are very strong, and they wanna, aside doing what you're doing, studying or whatever, they also wanna pursue a boxing career?
Well, it's all about discipline. It's all about dedication. And it's all about hard work. Boxing is a very difficult sport. Very, very difficult. It's probably the most difficult of all the sports, like the training and everything. And it's like this: if you don't train hard, the other guy is gonna beat you and use you as a stepping stone to greatness. So you train hard, and you use him as your stepping stone to greatness. That's the way it goes.
That's
Yeah,
all.
That's all.
That's all. Well, let's take a look at a boxing match I had with one of the ladies when I went to go and profile Senna.